Welcome to Dragon of Disengagement. Dragon of Disengagement is our latest KaiBot add-on game. This game is definitely a favourite of ours, and I know it will be a favourite of yours as well. This game is not only a place for them to advance their coding skills, but it's also got an amazing, engaging board game style where they can have twists and turns with these magic cards and tokens, all while learning those core skills for social and emotional learning to defeat a Dragon of Disengagement. This game is all based around our CASEL Framework. So this is where we're diving deep into our social and emotional learning skills for our students. CASEL Framework for SEL is what we based this product on. We worked hard with psychologists and counsellors to develop this product. And it's all based on those social and emotional learning for your grades 4 to 6 students. This is where we dive into things like self-awareness, self-management, responsible decision-making, relationship skills, and social awareness. Now, these are all areas that your students will be focused on both in the classroom and schools, as well as in the family and communities as well. This is where we can guide and support your students with these skills. As you can see with this CASEL framework, it dives deep into all of these 5 areas and how we can support our students. All of our questions in our Dragon of Disengagement game are all based around these 5 areas. Let's have a look now at how we can play this game and how it integrates our social and emotional learning. The great thing about KaiBot, as always, it can be available to you and your students either screen-free or with an added offer device. Let's have a look at screen-free options first. This game is best played with 4 students, 2 on each team. Now you have the choice of playing collaboratively together, where 2 teams work together to defeat our Dragon of Disengagement. Or you can work opposite each other, where it's a competitive game to see who can defeat the Dragon of Disengagement first. So once team 1 are ready, they will work through the questions one by one. So you will start on your self-management area, where you'll pick up the first card on the pile and work through the question as a team together. What can help you stay focused on homework? Option 1. Find an area that you feel comfortable working in and taking timed breaks. 2. Forcing yourself to only think about the homework. 3. Working on multiple questions at once to keep busy. 4. Finding a quiet spot to work. This is all on self-management. So once your peer have figured out what answer they feel is best on this question, they will notice that in this corner we've got the icon of a crown. Once they've decided what number they're going to go with for the answer, they will then code their way to that answer. So for example, we might say crown number 2. So once they find crown and number 2 on the board, they will get their coding cards and their robot and code their way to crown number 2 on the board. Once they're coded their way to that area, they will then flip over the answer and see what answer they got for this. Once you can see here, you've got different numbers for each question. As you can see for this one, we have deducted 10 points from our half bar on the side. That equals 1 point that you can take off your half bar. Then the next team will go and they will ask a question from the same area. Once they've completed, they will then move on to the next area, which is social awareness, and so on until they have completed all 5 areas of our social and emotional learning. Once they have finished all 5 areas of your social and emotional learning, they then get to come and choose one of their coding cards challenges. Now, each area is able to be chosen by a curious, courageous, or complex coding challenge card. Once the team have decided what one they want to choose from, they will then complete the coding challenge at the end. Once they've completed their coding challenge at the end, they will have defeated the Dragon of Disengagement. Now let's have a look at what's included in the box for Dragon of Disengagement. Once you receive your box, you will open it up to find there are many exciting things included in this box. First up, we have our Dragon of Disengagement comic book. Now this book is an amazing designed comic book, all based around the story of Marshy and Marsha, who you'll be familiar with from our market math and kitchen literacy. Now this time, both Marshy and Marsha are on a plane ride when they get distracted by their phones and crash onto an island where they are separated from each other. Now this is when they go on a quest to find each other again, where they discover things like our social and emotional learning. This comic book is a beautifully designed comic book that I know your students will absolutely love reading. You'll see once they go on their adventure, they'll find a dragon at the very end, and it's all about how they can work with their social and emotional skills to defeat this Dragon of Disengagement. I know your students will absolutely love it. Next, we will find our coding card challenges. Now these are our coding card challenges that you'll have at the very end of our game to defeat the Dragon of Disengagement. Now you'll have 3 areas to choose from with these coding card challenges: curious, courageous, and complex, depending on where your students are and how they want to complete these coding card challenges. Next, you will find all of our social and emotional question cards. We will have 5 areas of cards that are all color coordinated with different symbols on the top corner. So we have our responsible decision making, relationship building, self-awareness, social awareness, and self-management. Next up, you will have our magic cards. Now these magical cards are a game changer. They really keep the game alive and make it extra engaging and exciting for your students. Now anytime your students land on one of our purple squares that have different animals on them, that means they have to choose one of our magic cards. Now these magic cards can have a range of different things that they might have to complete. They may be things like working collaboratively to ask different questions and work as a team to find the answer. It might be things where they can add 10 points or take 10 points away from the other team. I know that you will absolutely love these, as they definitely keep the game very exciting. Next up, you will have your token. So these tokens all relate to your tokens that you can remove from your question cards. So once your team have asked a question and figured out what answer it is, on the back you will notice that there are different numbers on that bottom corner. Now each number relates back to how many tokens they can take away from their health bar. So 30 points means that they are able to take 3 points away from their token bar. 20 means that they can take 2 tokens away. And 10 means they can take 1 token away. And lastly, of course, you have your beautiful 9 Kai tiles, all with a beautifully designed puzzle on there for you to set up to play your game. Now the things that you will need to complete this Dragon of Disengagement game that are not included in the game are 2 KaiBots and a pack of advanced coding cards. You will need these advanced coding cards to complete our coding challenge to defeat the Dragon of Disengagement at the end of the game. So let's have a look at Dragon of Disengagement on our virtual world. So first of all, we need to come in and connect our KaiBot. So you can see at the top here, we're just pairing our robot, making sure that those individual codes are correct as we connect. Great. Now, first of all, we need to go through if we want collaborative mode or versus mode. As you can see, it steps you through step by step to see your difficulty, your team names, and everything you need to get your game started. Now, first team is up with their first question.
Self-awareness. A friend promises to sit with you at lunch, but then sits with a different group, leaving you upset. Why do you think you feel upset?
Now, once the team have collaboratively decided together what the best answer is for this question, they go ahead and select whatever one they think is best. Then they have a look on the board and they can see which way they would like to code to this area. Once they've seen what one they want to code to, they get their coding cards all nice and ready. So now they've mapped out their coding cards on the way that they want to code to one of the flashing icons, and they go ahead and code with their KaiBot. Now don't forget to push the play button once you've figured out the correct code. And watch your KaiBot code their way to the flashing icon. Did we get our answer correct? Now you can see the aim of the game here is to make sure that we're wanting to take as much points off to defeat the Dragon of Disengagement. So the whole idea is that you want to bring that health bar down. So now it is the second team's turn. So their question will pop up. And once they've decided collaboratively as a team what answer they feel is best, they will code their way to one of the flashing icons. Now you can see there's different ways in which they can code through here. You can see that there are some flashing icons of purple, which have got some of our characters on. Now those are our magic cards. So they are just a fun, engaging way of keeping the game alive, where they'll have different positives or negatives towards your team or the other team. But I'll leave them as a bit of a surprise for you. You'll have to play the game to see. And so the game continues. You can see how you'll have each team have a turn each, and you'll just go through it together until you get to your coding challenge at the end. Now at the beginning you selected whether you wanted a sort of easy or more complex coding challenge. So I'm excited to see which coding challenge you choose. As you can see, KaiBot Dragon of Disengagement is an absolute game changer and action-packed. They're going to absolutely love getting their hands on this, either screen-free or adding the device. With loads of different questions, all based on your social and emotional learning, and knowing that they're CASEL aligned, your classroom is really going to enhance with this. Will your students be able to defeat the Dragon of Disengagement?